Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be unboxing the all-new Ninja Double Stack XL Air Fryer. What do you get for your money? Watch this video and find out. So you ready? Let's get into this. This is the box for the Double Stack XL. You can see that the form factor is a little bit slimmer and a little bit taller than some of the other air fryers that Ninja's made. In fact, you can see right here some of the different shapes and sizes for the different air fryers that Ninja makes. The difference with this machine is that you're stacking your air fry compartments on top of each other instead of next to each other. And with that, it enables 4-layer cooking, so you can actually separate each one of these compartments into 2 separate layers, all while still fitting underneath your upper cabinets. Right here you can see a little depiction of the stacking concept that they're pushing on this machine, whereas you got vegetables and stuff down here in the bottom and the proteins up above them. I don't really know how much you're going to be able to fit into there doing that, but we're going to find out here shortly. The machine has 6 customizable preset functions, including air fry, roast, reheating, air broiling, baking, and dehydrating. And just like Ninja's dual zone air fryer, you also get Smart Finish and Match Cook. Smart Finish is a feature that lets you put dissimilar things in the top and bottom compartments, and the machine will get them finished at the same time, so everything is hot and ready all together. Match Cook is just a shortcut to transfer your settings from one basket to the other, so you don't have to key everything in twice. Here you can see a quick breakdown of the machine, and you can see that it is pretty deep. You'd expect that because it is narrow, so basically you're taking an air fryer and you're sticking it on its side for the most part. It's got a 10-quart capacity, meaning that each one of these drawers can hold 5 quarts maximum. Right here you can see the drawer with the crisping plate and the rack right above it. And on the back, you can see a short explanation about some of the features. Here's the Smart Finish I was talking about, and also that Match Cook that I mentioned as well. So what do you say we get this thing open? Here's a list of some of the things that are included in the box, along with some of the features that we've already talked about. I'm going to save you some time and aggravation, and we're just going to skip that because you're about to see it all anyway. Alright, on the inside lids here you can see a quick tutorial on how to use the double stack, the Smart Finish, and also the Match Cooking. And then right here we got your booklets. Here is the owner's guide, and in that you get safety information, parts list, and a brief rundown of what the different controls do on the control panel, along with a quick rundown of how to use the crisper plates and everything else. Right here you've got some cleaning and maintenance information, which as far as Ninja's concerned is usually sort of funny because Ninja machines have always been really hard to clean. But at least you know by reading this never to immerse your machine in water. The sad part is that it's only in there because somebody did, and that's why it's in the book. And right here, again, how to use the double stack, and also a quick cooking guide as to what the different things in the pictures might need the setting set to, along with the amount of time to cook. And the only thing left here is the quick start guide, which is a little bit funny because everything I've shown you so far has said quick start on it already, but whatever. This goes into more detail about what all the features do, how to use them. You've got cooking charts in here, and if you look in the back, you got a whole bunch of recipes that you can follow, including pictures. I've always liked these Ninja recipe books because a lot of times you'll end up making some stuff that you really never thought about making before, and you end up enjoying it quite a bit. So I'm a fan of these. Even though you can easily go online these days and get recipes, I've always liked having a physical book like this. I'm kind of old-fashioned that way. Anyway, there's our power cable. Get that out of the way, and we'll slide this top piece off. And it looks like this whole thing is going to come out in one fell swoop, if I can get a grip on this. And it's pretty heavy. Whoa, it's very heavy.
You serious?
Okay, along with being heavy, this machine really is pretty big. I'll tell you what, they do a decent job packing these things up though. And one thing about Ninja is that I've never received a product from them that was really damaged in any way or scratched or anything. It can be sort of a pain in the neck to unbox these though. On camera these might look metal, but that is not. That is just shiny silver plastic. How that's going to hold up to abuse is Something that time will tell about though, won't it? On the top of the machine is an air frying quick start guide. This is a sticker so you can remove it, but for a lot of people I would just say keep it on there. It is a nice reference to have all your cooking times up here so you don't really have to think about it too much. We'll open up these baskets here in a second, but let's look at what else we got on this machine. Here is your control panel with some selectable buttons and a dial right here. Here's our two baskets, obviously. And if we slide this back, there is our power cord. Kind of shortish. This is about 2 feet long, maybe 2.5 feet. So that could have been a little bit longer. Back here you got some ventilation. Down here's a couple of nubs, so if you were to slide this against the wall, it would stop right here and it would leave that 1/2 inch back behind the machine to make sure you're not choking off that vent. And then if we look on the side here, a little bit more ventilation to come out the side here as well. So keep in mind that this is on the left side of the machine, so if you are putting it on your countertop, you got to keep that in mind. As far as actual dimensions on this, we're talking about 14 3/4 inches tall. And remember what we were talking about with your standard countertops? Typically those are about 17 inches. So you do have about a 2-inch gap or so at the top of this machine to fit underneath your cabinets, unless your cabinets are non-standard. But I would think that regardless, you're still always going to have at least that 15 inches of space, so that's not really a problem. As far as width goes, the machine is about 9.25 inches wide, but you do have this little control panel sticking off on the side here. So if you take that into account, we're looking at more like 11.5. As far as depth goes, we're talking about 13.25 inches deep. Keep in mind we do have those nubs on the back, and those are about a 1/2 inch, so 13 3/4 or so. Okay, opening up these baskets, these should be identical. Take all this out. Okay, these are the metal racks that we were talking about that help divide these 2 compartments into 4 compartments. There is a shelf built into this halfway up, so when you slide these down in here, they stop at about halfway down. Also, another quick reminder of how to use these racks. Okay, in addition to the metal rack, we have an integrated crisping plate right here with a non-stick surface on it. You can see the size of the air fry tray, along with some ventilation on the back. These slide in here nice and snug, and these racks are pretty decent construction too. Looks like they're made of stainless steel. These 2 trays are identical, so you can put either one in the top or the bottom and it doesn't matter. And here you can see a little bit more visually of how this fits underneath your countertop. See, even with this pushed all the way back against the counter, it does stop quite a bit short, because I failed to mention when I did the depth measurement that there is a hump on the back of this thing as well. So really the machine's depth is much more than I initially thought. I also didn't account for the handle sticking out either, so with the handles and the hump on the back, we're talking about just a shade under 20 inches deep. I mean, my countertops have a depth of 26 inches, and you can see right here how much space is left on the countertop in front of it. So if you are going to put this on your countertop, yes, it does have a little bit of clearance for the upper cabinets, but it's taken up still a pretty big footprint because you can't really use any of the space in front of the air fryer. So I'm not so sure about the smaller footprint that Ninja seems so happy to mention, because their dual zone air fryer, even though it's much wider than this machine, it does sit a lot farther back as well. In fact, that machine is roughly the same dimensions of this, except it's twisted the other way. So that machine kind of sits sort of like that. Maybe it's a little bit wider, but you get the idea. So for me, this form factor isn't as great as I initially thought it might be. Hey, by the way, if this is your first time here and you want to learn some cool new recipes, get some great cooking tips and tricks and all sorts of other kitchen related things, then start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you never miss a thing. Alright, I'll turn this on and give you a quick rundown of some of the features. Right here you can see that you have 2 different zones. Zone 1, which is the top, and Zone 2, which is the bottom. So the first thing you do would be to select the zone that you want to use the dial to select what function you want, and you can see the information in that top screen changes as we're doing different functions. Let's say I were to do air fry. Up here you can see the temperature is set to 390 and the time is set to 20 minutes. So if I hit the temperature button right here, now I can change the temperature with the dial. So I could say maybe 360, and then I could change the time to the amount of time, and so on and so forth. Really, really simple. Now if I like to do something different in zone 2, now I can just go ahead and select that zone, pick what I want. In this case, maybe I'll hit roast, change the temperature to 400, put the time at 17 minutes or something like that. And you can see that 1 isn't blinking anymore, it's just lit up because I have something that's put into that already. See, if I go back here, it's back to what I had selected before. And then back here, it's back on the roasting again. At this point, I've set stuff for both zones. So if I were to hit start, it's going to start both of these zones immediately. Let's say I wanted both of these things finished at the same time. Then I would just hit the smart finish button down here, and you can see that that's lit up now. Now if I were to hit start, it would start the air fry first because I have that at what, 28 minutes or 27 minutes or something like that. And then once it reaches 17 minutes, it would go ahead and start the roast on zone 2, just so they both get finished at the same time. Hence, smart finish. You can see that once I've started this up, I've got the ticker counting down on my air fry basket. And down here where it's roasting, it's just on hold because it's waiting for this to get to a certain amount of time before it starts that up. Neat, huh? Let's say I was cooking the same type of thing in both the top and the bottom. In that case, I would just go ahead and go to my first zone, set what I want to do. And now if I were to press match cook, then you can see that it's now blinking both zones. That way I don't have to go through and set the time and temperature to match the first one. Now if I were to start it up, it's going to start both sides immediately, and they should finish together because they're both set to the exact same times. Now if I was using those metal racks and I was going to cook maybe a protein on top of some vegetables in one of these, then I would use the double stack pro button, and that would tell the machine that I'm using the rack and I've got some additional stuff in there, and the machine will automatically make some adjustments for me. As far as noise goes, we're going to set the air fry on both zones and run them at the same time. That way this thing will be about as loud as it can possibly be. Okay, right here with both zones running, it's about 71 decibels. It actually sounds a little bit louder than it actually is. And if I do the same thing just with zone 1, then we're 67 decibels. Noticeably quieter. Anyway, sounds kind of promising. Can't wait to make some stuff in here and see how it compares to our other air fryers. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be running several tests on the Ninja Double Stack XL air fryer. Once I've compiled enough information, I'll be back with a full product review. If you'd like a little bit more information about the Ninja Double Stack XL air fryer, I do have an Amazon affiliate link to it down in the description of the video. If you buy anything through those links, I do make a small commission, but it doesn't change the price that you pay. 1 cent. If you like this video, you might like this unboxing video right here where we show you what you get with Ninja's other popular air fryer, the Ninja Dual Zone air fryer with Mega Zone. Very similar to this machine, but with a few key differences. Well, that's it for now. I hope to see you back again here really soon, and until then, I'm Joe, and I hope you have a phenomenal day. Take it easy.